Welcome! In this video, you will learn how to use Hugging Face transformer models in MATLAB. It's simple to analyze and build models with text data using Text Analytics Toolbox. But did you know that it's also easy to use models from external frameworks in MATLAB? For example, Hugging Face transformer models. In this video, you will learn how to do that. This video shows how to analyze factory reports written in Japanese. We are going to do that in 3 steps. Importing the data into MATLAB, using the Python Transformers library to translate the reports, and later analyzing the text with the Text Analytics Toolbox. You can follow the same process for your own application, such as classification, sentiment analysis, topic modeling, or summarization. Now, let's open MATLAB Live Editor and get started. The dataset used here contains labeled textual descriptions of factory events written in Japanese. As you can see, the column names are also in Japanese. For the analysis of the text, we will use descriptions of the events to visualize token frequencies and search for specific terms. But if, like myself, you can't read Japanese, you will have to translate the names to find the information you need. Let's move to the next step and see how to translate the columns and contents into English using Python code. Did you know you can directly edit Python code inside MATLAB? This code uses the Transformers library from Hugging Face. It defines a function, translate, that uses the pre-trained model M2M100, which is a multilingual encoder-decoder model that can be used for translation tasks. The code automatically downloads the model. It will translate sentences to English, taking as input the sentences together with the source language, and returning the translated sentences. The file name for this code is machine_translation.py. When calling a Python function, make sure that you use a compatible data type. You can find more information on the page MATLAB to Python data type mapping. Now you can call the define Python function in MATLAB using py dot the name of the Python file that you want to use, machine_translation dot the name of the function, translate. Start with a simple translation, giving as input the Japanese word Ohio together with the source language, and obtain the translation to English. Now, translate the column names to English and see that the first column contains the description of the events. Select the first column from the table and use the translate function to obtain the English translation of the descriptions. After you have the translations, you can move to the analysis of the text using Text Analytics Toolbox. If you have a version of the same data, or at least part of the data in English, you can use that to evaluate the quality of the automated translation. Text Analytics has 2 functions for evaluating machine translation models: Blue Evaluation Score and Rouge Evaluation Score. Scores closer to 1 indicate that you have a high-quality translation. You can also inspect and see what the best translation looks like. You can also check the results for the worst translation. Next, let's do some preprocessing. Create a helper function, preprocess text, using Text Analytics Toolbox to lemmatize the words, remove stop words, erase all punctuation, and then remove words that are too short. You can visualize the word clouds for the descriptions by just calling the word cloud function. The word cloud shows what the most frequent terms are in the reports. Since Text Analytics also supports Japanese, you can also get the word clouds for the Japanese descriptions. To search for terms inside the reports, you can use the Text Analytics function BM25 similarity, which can compare the reports with the term you want to search. This function returns scores that indicates the relevance of each description according to your query. You can inspect the content of the most relevant reports. Here, you can see the top 3 most relevant results for 2 different queries. For learning how to classify factory reports according to their categories using BERT, check the MATLAB Transformers GitHub repository. You can find the link in the description of this video. In this example, you'll learn how to use Hugging Face transformers in MATLAB with Text Analytics Toolbox. Why don't you try creating your own machine translation model using Deep Learning Toolbox and see if you can get better scores? Check out the Text Analytics Toolbox documentation to learn more about all the different text applications you can create. Thanks for watching!